Hi, I'm Alex Archibald. I've been buying and selling antiques since I was a kid. Over the years, generations of our family have gotten involved in the business, and I'll search just about anywhere I can to find hidden treasures both big and small. I never know what I'll turn up next. It's about exploring new places, seeing new sights, and having fun. And even though sometimes I get over my head, we try and make things a little better along the way. This is Curiosity. Hi guys, and welcome to today's episode. I last night had a car delivered, which will probably surprise none of you if you've been watching my channel for a while. But what might surprise some of you is that we had to move it around with a vehicle, with the tractor, because it's so darn heavy. It might be one of the heaviest, biggest vehicles I've ever bought. And to show you guys what I bought today, I used my trusty Jeep, which I don't know, did a live feed a while ago that I was having trouble with the starter. I fixed it. I'm going to use that to pull this thing out of the garage. So stay tuned as I give you an unveil of the next vehicle that's come home. And gosh, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this thing. But let's pull this thing out of the garage. Here goes nothing. There's really no great way to get this car in and out of the garage right now because it weighs probably a literal ton. And it's just me right now. So tow rope does the trick. But here she is, 1929 Cadillac. This particular car is a 1929 Cadillac 341B Roadster. Has a V8 engine, dual side mount tires, rumble seat, so it's considered a 4-passenger because you put your extra people in the trunk area. And it is a gargantuan car. It probably doesn't show on camera, but it's as long as a truck and quite tall, but a very handsome looking car. And this vehicle has never been restored. The reason why I decided to drag it out of my garage today is because there's a couple things I want to do to it. One, I have not pressure washed this car. It was in a barn for years, and you can kind of see the dust and grime, which is a little bit charming on this car, but it's been sitting a real long time, so I want to give it a spray. The other thing was, at some point, probably in the 1950s or 60s, somebody brush painted the car, and they brush painted over the original lacquer. Now, when you start to peel that up, you can see, well, heck, that original paint is actually in pretty decent condition under there. So I want to pressure wash this and get as much of this loose peeling paint off as I can. Ideally, I'd love to get all of the painted brushwork off, all the paint off that they put on the second layer, and get it back to its original finish. Then I could actually polish it up and do something with it, and it would be a survivor. So we're going to degrease, we're going to wash. The interior, well, not too much going on in here. You can see this 1960s sort of metallic blue fabric somebody just stuck onto the original upholstery, which is pretty worn out. Obviously, that's why they did it. Same with the back. Wouldn't take much to get that seat reupholstered, though. It's just a back and a bottom. Oddly, this Bakelite, I think it's Bakelite, that plastic shift knob, Cadillac or whatever it is, it's still in really good shape. Gauges are all there. Steering wheel is not terrible. The glass is good. It's got these great dual spotlights that are on both sides, and they mount all the way down to the running board. So it is a really cool car. There's no convertible top on it, but the frame is good. So there's potential here. It's just a really neat, like, I got to go to the widescreen just to get the whole car in. It's a really neat and yet massive vehicle. I love the fact that it's all original, other than being, you know, brush painted at some point. You don't find too many of these cars that have not been restored after this period of time. But we're going to wash it down and see what we have to work with. Now, I've picked up a few different products to try. No sponsorship here. I've got the Gunk Engine Degreaser, Spray 9 Grease Off, which I've never tried before. But I do normally like Spray 9, which is just generally a good degreaser and cleaner anyway. So for each greasy wheel, we're going to try a different product and see which one works the best. So let's start with Let's start with the regular spray 9 on the front wheel, and you can see just, well, these were actually green, these rims at one point. It's crazy. They're so so dirty that you can't even really see the color. Okay, we'll let that soak. See if that does anything at all. Well, that's weird. That's got a Lincoln hubcap on it. That shouldn't be. Why do I have a Lincoln hubcap? And another Lincoln. Do I have the wrong wheel? I hope I don't have the wrong wheels on this car. Okay, for this next wheel, we're gonna use grease off. And this rim looks like it's black. I might have a few surprises with this vehicle. I guess after, 100 years, you expect a few things might be swapped or changed or moved around. Not sure what the deal is with the Lincoln hubcaps. And this last one here, we're gonna just try your usual sort of engine degreaser. And the whole car is greasy, so if you're saying, aren't you worried about getting on the paint? It's all covered in grease down there. We'll actually give that a little shot while we're at it. And we'll give the engine a spray down, which is what this stuff is meant for. And we'll get the pressure washer and see how this turns out. Well, I had no idea that one wheel was green. I might regret having washed it now because it doesn't match the others. But it did an okay job. I mean, the paint's not in great shape underneath, but I can see a color again on it. So Spray 9 did all right. This is the Spray 9 grease one. It's meant for grease, so let's see how it does. Not bad. So weird. As I'm washing this, I'm really trying to figure out what the deal is with the Lincoln hubcaps. I'm hoping it's just the hubcaps and not the whole rim. They look the same. And it'd be weird to me that you could put a Ford product on a GM car, but maybe there was a lot of similarities back then, or they had a certain maker that made the rims and they worked on both cars. Who knows? It's what's on here anyway, though. Well, out of the cleaners, I think the Spray 9 grease off actually worked the best on that particular rim right there. I'm going to work my way around the car, and I'm intentionally trying to get the loose, flaky paint off. You can see like that right there. I want the old, or that brushed on paint to come off because underneath is the original black lacquer, which, like I said, doesn't look so bad. So we're going to try and shoot as much of that off as we can and hopefully come up with some solution to get the rest off. But we'll loosen off the flaky stuff with the pressure washer, and that'll give me an idea of what we're looking at. Okay, what's kind of interesting as I'm washing this old paint off is that you can start to see the original pinstripes. See that? There was a double pinstripe painted there. The louvers of the hood had pinstripes painted down each louver. Looks like a single pinstripe. No, maybe a double. And the body line had a pinstripe all the way down it. So doing a little discovery here. It looks better without all the chipping paint. I'm gonna keep at it. I haven't done the other side yet, so back to work I go. Well, a little less crusty than it was a few minutes ago. I can see I'm gonna have to rinse the driveway off after I'm done, but what a good looking car this is. I should say that wearing white running shoes is not the best thing to wear when you're degreasing an engine bay. That said, spray night also cleans your shoes up. So yeah, they're back to normal too. I am really curious. I mean, I don't really even want to sit on this seat because it's nasty, but I'm curious to know what condition this is underneath, and I do want to take it in to get upholstered. Let's see if I can get that out. Okay. Well, the seat bottom comes out nice and easy. I don't know if that's screwed or bolted on or what. Not sure how they've got this all attached. This almost feels like a bed sheet or something that somebody's put on here. Let's see what's underneath there. A foam and horsehair. I feel like I'm going to be opening up a can of worms with the back of that seat. But it must be done. Must it? Sure. Let's see. I think that's the original fabric there. Sort of a houndstooth looking fabric. I would have thought, mind you, fabric was considered more deluxe than leather. Leather was kind of what your driver would have. But with this being a roadster, leather might be a better way to go because you get rained on, you don't want to have your cloth seats get soaked up with water. Oh, I guess that's the material there. So that's original. Whatever's left of it. I have a feeling this is going to be terrible under here. Do I take it off? Do I leave it? Heck, we'll take it off. Seat bottom is out. I guess I can vacuum all in there. Good news is there's no rust holes through the floor. Also no Jimmy Hoffa. What was that little plate too? Something. Lubrication point, or I don't know. Who knows what? It does something. I'll be honest, I am no expert on this period of car. In fact, I'm really not an expert on any period. There's just cars that scare me less. You give me an MGB, I'll be just fine. you give me an old Cadillac like this and I get a little bit nervous. Somebody did put a pile of staples in that blue flap of vinyl on the back, so I got to pull each and every one out of there. Judging from that fabric, I'm going to say that was probably done in the 60s. And I did notice, I'm going to come back to that in a sec. I also noticed something, I don't know if I want to call it encouraging, but if you kind of look here, can you see that? There's a 1970 inspection sticker, and where was it inspected? Can't really make it out. But it was on the road in 1970 anyway, so that's still a really long time ago. But maybe there's hope for the old gal. Anyway, as for me, I'm gonna get this seat dismantled so I can see what we're working with. Well, I'm pretty sure I got all of the staples out, and trust me, they put a pile of them in there. Like, that wasn't coming off. I think this was probably put on the 50s. That looks like the type of material you get in a 57 Chevy or something. Anyway, that is off. There's some of the original material underneath. We're gonna flip this over and see what's left. I think there was a 1950s mouse living in here, which means it probably had a little pipe and slippers and a newspaper. Was very optimistic about the economy. Haven't found its little mouse skeleton, and hopefully I won't. But we're gonna flip this over and see what's left of the original front seat. I know why they recovered it now, because it's nasty on that one side. They jammed some foam in there because the original is gone, missing. Probably our 1950s mouse got to it. But there is, at least I can see what the pattern was supposed to be. It was split in two, it looks like. So 2 little seat cushions, basically piping down the middle. Pretty easy to have that upholstered just the way it would have been originally. I don't think that I'm going to use this type of fabric. Like I said, with it being an open car, I'll probably do it in a leather, but I'll do it in a tan. I'll try and find something similar in color anyway. Now to tackle the back. The back seat, even worse. But I can still see that it was upholstered in its 2 sections. It's basically like 2 separate seats. See that? So it's 2 seat backs. I can find out where the one starts and the other ends, and maybe find a way to get this thing out of here. It's 2 seat backs, 1 seat bottom. These springs look to be a little shot. That could become a problem. Hopefully the upholstery shop can get new springs for it. And not sure what that screw does. Maybe an adjustment, maybe it releases it. Hard to say. Seats are out, and I think I figured out what this is for. I'm just gonna give it a little WD-40, a little oil on there. That is a seat adjustment to make the seat come out or in. So if you're shorter, you would move it out like that. It still works. So that brings it out, and you go the other way and it brings it back in again. Kind of neat. Kind of cool that it still works. Not exactly sure how the back of the seat is supposed to sit on that. It was stapled on the top. Hopefully that's not how it's supposed to go, but if it is, so be it. We'll figure it out. I've been thinking about what to do with this car. And the interior's out, yes. I was gonna redo the seats in leather, but as it turns out, this Harris tweed would have been imported and quite expensive at the time. You can see that it's a herringbone tweed pattern. So I think that's what it has to have. It's probably one of the only Cadillacs made at that time that had the optional herringbone tweed upholstery. And so I don't want to take away the fact that that's kind of special and cool. So I think I'm going to leave it. In fact, not only do I think I know I'm going to leave it, I ordered already from Scotland authentic wool herringbone tweed upholstery fabric that should just be phenomenal. It's going to look like a flat cap inside of the interior, which is great. I think it'll suit the car. So this, I had ordered enough to, this part I think I can reupholster myself. The seats need somebody who knows what they're doing to do that. But I do need to do all the back. This area here would have been upholstered in the same fabric, which is long gone. I'll have to take this lid up and off so I can upholster that separate so it still functions. And figure out something with the carpet. I might do something unusual with the carpeting in the car, just for fun. It's gonna be like a rat rod, a Cadillac, if you will. I want it to be basically all original as it is, but put the seats back so they're nice to sit in with the original style fabric. But I want it to feel like an English sitting room in the front. So I'm gonna try and think of what to do with the carpeting. And there's not much carpet. Plus, if somebody doesn't like what I'm going to do, they can always switch it out easy enough. But I'm gonna have a little fun with it. I have talked to my friend Matt, who has Strong's Garage on YouTube. You can check him out there. But he specializes in pre-war cars like this. And in a few weeks' time, we're gonna try and get the car over to him to get it running and driving. I think the goal is just to make it a driver as it is. Leave the patina, leave it just how it is, and just make it mechanically sound so it's safe for the road, which will mean me getting new tires and getting a few things done. But I think we're gonna try and leave it as original as possible, which will look cool. I mean, don't you think that this thing pulling into a car show would look pretty awesome? Maybe not with the mismatched white wall tire, but I think it'll look pretty snappy. So good first day with the car. Oh, if you didn't know, and I think I mentioned this before, but maybe I didn't, this rack on the back is for your trunk, and that's why they call it the trunk of a car, because you used to literally have like a trunk. If you imagine a big, like a chest, a trunk on the back, that's what goes on that rack there. And that's why they call it the trunk. This actually isn't the trunk. This, as you can see, is an extra. It's a fold-up seat. But later we would refer to the rear opening area of a vehicle as a trunk. But really, the trunk is meant to be an actual trunk on the back. This little door here is a golf club door. So you could throw your clubs in there and head off to the course. And that's where your other storage would be. And I see down inside there, it looks like, hang on, let's see if I can reach it. I've got some stuff down here. Well, there's my side curtains. That is for right there. So I've got those. I've got the side curtains for it. That's something. At least it'd be a good pattern. They're not terrible, really. So side curtain number 1. There's side curtain number 2. So both side curtains, missing the top, that's okay. I think there's something else down there too. It looks like a finishing panel, but I don't think, it's not off the door. The doors were almost square. And it's leather, so it's probably from the back area here. I think it maybe would have gone down in here like so and sat on either side. You would have had like that, which means there must have been a pocket or something. That's for this back, the rumble seat area. It's cool. There's a little, you can't really see it, but there's a footrest that pops out too, which is pretty neat. Neat car. And so that's it for today's episode. I end it with myself on my way to go pick up supplies to start the interior renovation to make it a little more comfortable on the inside of the car. But guys, I think this is going to be a really fun project. It's a beautiful car, and with any luck, I'll get it running and driving and be able to have a little fun with it in the near future. Guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe to watch this whole series, because as of today, I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I'm just full of optimism and don't know what's going on. Lots of questions here. But guys, have a wonderful day. We'll see y'all soon. And as always, bye for now. Bye, guys.